Welcome back. Our guest is Senator Ajibola Bashiru. I think we're reaching him from Osun. I'm not sure. It could be Osun, it could be Abuja, but we do have Senator Ajibola Bashiru with us. He's the official spokesman of the Senate, and we're talking about insecurity, Naira Redesign, and other matters. In the meantime, thank you very much, Reverend Dominic, for coming on and holding on till we came back from break. Go ahead now, sir.
Good morning, Chief Yori.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Senator Bashiru.
Yeah, good morning.
For the first time, I, Reverend Dominic, have agreed with Senator Bashiru. Our view doesn't align most of the time, but this morning, he has done justice to this factor topic. Because I've said it several times that we that support Ashibaju and the APC somehow should take responsibility so we can calm the nerves for Nigeria. And Senator has done that this morning. Because denying APC or the president or the CBN, it makes us irresponsible people. But let me say this. I support Ashwaju 100%. Why? I have reason for that. He's courageous. He's visionary. What brought us to this point we are is vision. There are things most of us doesn't say in public. I'm going to say it now because of the phone call I've seen for over 34 days. When the CBN governor had ambition to become a president, I called some few friends who is in college of power. I said, please, let Mr. President let this man go. Vision, ambition is like ideology. When it takes over a man, it consumes him. If we have had visionary to let this man go, the new CBN will not jump into this policy because the new CBN will not jump into this policy. He will first of all acclimatize himself with the bureaucracy of CBN before any policy that can hurt anybody. But no, Mr. President left India, just like Senator has said, and left him not to bring this policy. Mr. President may mean well to say, go on. But the implementation of it is horror. And moreover, today, there's no new Naira note. There's no old one. There's what you call it again. Like you say, we're illiterate at law. Damage control. When we have seen there's no new Naira note that is short of it, why don't we use the old one to acknowledge this pain? And they continue on until today. We don't know whether federal government have agreed with Supreme Court or Supreme Court have agreed with the federal government.
Well, thank you very much, Reverend Dominic, for calling in and, as I said, for holding on while we were on break. Well, it's not really well understood why we are in this position to most people. Although Senator Bashiru, we've been speaking about it, we know the reasons we were given, but people still are able to think for themselves. And so people are wondering, why now, about a month to an important election? The president, for instance, I think it is sort of accepted, he's going to be kicking the subsidy removal can down the road for whoever comes after him to handle. This could have been kicked down the road too, Senator Bashiru. It could have been kicked down the road too, but it wasn't. Yes, so you then see that people are confused. The Attorney General has said that, well, this is an administration that is law-abiding, has respect for the rule of law, so it will let the central bank's pronouncement stand, but the central bank has to vacate that order. The central bank doesn't have jurisdiction, and more utterances showing that they are not in agreement. Mr. President had said that there is no going back. It looks like this is going back to that whole statement of there's not going to be any going back. And people who were looking at the president as the father, and a father will not see his children, so to speak, continuing this analogy, in dire discomfort. But the president, knowing best, there is no succor. He says there is no going back. In fact, the president said that it doesn't matter. Give people 3 months if you want. Even give them 1 year, there will still be complaints. So there's this whole situation where is all that care that we felt APC, your party, Senator Bashiru, was bringing to us 8 years ago? Where is all that change that you promised us 8 years ago? Now we're looking at renewed hope. In fact, there are people who are saying that if it is the hope you people brought 8 years ago and you want to renew it, we hope it is a total different thing that you want to renew. Yes, Senator.
Yeah, Yori, it's a very terrible situation we have on our hands, which goes beyond politics. Issue of integrity also comes into question. We are sitting atop of our CBN today, and the entire financial sector is a politician. The drafters of the CBN Act will not emphasize that you have a politician with an ambition to become president of Nigeria sitting and not having, the dignity and the integrity to resign, having enhanced, that intention to be president of Nigeria through whichever political party, which unfortunately is my own, political party. One would have thought that as a matter of integrity, having lost an ambition to become president, and he was afraid of running foul of Section 84, Subsection 12 of the Electoral Act, we are aware that he was running from pillar to post, trying to get, court orders to be able to nullify that proposition.
That's right.
One would have thought that men of goodwill, men of conscience in the presidency would have prevailed on the president to do the needful under doctrine of necessity and ensuring that the sanity of our financial sector is preserved and not sacrificed at the detriment of pleasing an individual with such, legitimate but quite an incongruous ambition considering the position, that he was holding. So, of course, one would also surmise, therefore, that this is a newfound love for redesigning policy, which, of course, he got approval of Mr. President, may be a war by proxy to be able, to vent out his anger on our party for not, succumbing, to his ambition, and of course, some other individuals who are also backing him up in the villa, also trying to see this as a way of ensuring that APC as its last president in President Muhammadu Buhari. But I believe that Nigerians will be able to see that even with respect, in the past 7.5 years, more often than not, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu had been an outsider in that government. He does not have any position of responsibility given to him, and he does not even have any direct nominee in that administration. And for the first time of that administration, Asiwaju was more or less like somebody in political, exile. And the kind of opprobrium that was poured on him, even by elements in the presidency, including those that belonged, and I use the word belonged to our political camp and political family, speaks, to the resilience of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in making the journey, this far. So I believe that Nigerians should be able to make a kind of what I call disaggregation of the personality, the commitment, the sagacity, and the track record of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu from those individuals who think that governance should be used as a political tool in denying a Nigerian that has shown commitment to development and opportunity to get, overwhelming support of Nigerians at the poll on February 25, 2023. This is our appeal.
Okay, Senator. I beg your pardon, Senator. Ada has been holding on for so long. Good morning, Madam Ada.
I'm calling from Jos Plateau State, and Senator Bashir. I'm holding on because I always believe it will get better.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead now, Ada.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Yori. Let me tell you, Yori. I'm holding Mr. President responsible for what is happening. You've heard what Bashir said there and all that, or whatnot. If the person is not doing the right thing, why is he there? The mere fact that he had that presidential ambition, when that thing happened, I was wondering, the electoral law and all that, why is President Buhari not being firm and take a hard decision? So all I want to say here is that we're not interested in whether X party, all those legal terms, state of execution, vacation of whatever. What we want is let them bring out the money and give us our hard-earned money. What we have, the money people are queuing up there to work for is not even up to maybe 5 million or 10 million per day. That is in most of the banks where people are gathering. Why all this suffering? Are we committed a crime to elect President Buhari? And if they are talking grammar. Let me tell you something. It's not a question of whether they are setting up the masses against this thing. It is a natural phenomenon. If there's hunger in the land, that can make somebody to want to revolt against this thing. Is it because we are very docile? Is it because why pushing us too hard? Please, Mr. President, do something fast. We're not interested in all these interim injunctions. All the same, let's not give up on Nigeria.
Indeed. Thank you very much for calling in, Ada. I don't know, Senator Bashiru, you might have read Olusegun Adeniyi's back page column yesterday, and one of the fears of that column was that the way this whole thing is going, there might be those who are plotting and could come up with extra constitutional schemes to arrive at where they want to be if they feel that they can't go through, quote unquote, the front door. But that's really to one side. The point had been made that this situation here could actually be hijacked. Why everybody is sitting and just looking as if to say everything is normal, and as Ada was saying, Nigerians are docile, Nigerians don't, Nigerians are just gentle folk, and we are patient folks. As you know, I don't know, we've heard that universities have been, asked to just go home for the meantime, and it just looks as if all sorts of preparations are being made. There are those who are saying that Mr. President Muhammadu Buhari has joined the campaign team of his party, the campaign team of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but reluctantly. So it is felt. It's a matter of opinion. He's in there. But there are those who are saying that until all sorts of sounds were beginning to be made, Mr. President just didn't. It looked as if he wasn't interested in the candidature of his own candidate. That is the candidate of his own party. Of course, the president has said since then that that is you people in the party, are honored to have Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu as your candidate. But the whole thing is just looking one kind. I suppose maybe this is part of the aspects of a high office that ordinary people don't understand about. But we are in a state of confusion, is what I'm hearing from a lot of people. As we speak now, we don't know. One paper in front of me says, is the Punch. Confusion deepens as CBN deadline ends today. Okay, we've now heard that they will abide by it. So they will now go back on the 15th for the substantive suit. But Senator, please be patient. Let me put on Mr. George, who has called in from Lagos. Good morning, Mr. George.
Good morning, Uncle Yori, and good morning to the Senator.
Yeah.
Uncle Yori,
thank you very much.
This matter, the president cannot be exonerated on this issue, but that is a different ballgame. The people around him are merely capitalizing on his sincerity and honesty, but that's not a defense for him not to act as the president of Nigeria. But where I'm really going is about Mefele as governor of Central Bank. I'm happy that the Senate spokesman is here. Please give me time to about 60 seconds to tell you something. When this incident started happening, I've been asking questions at Central Bank. This Supreme Court order, Mefele will not obey it, and you can see that he's not obeying it. Right inside the Central Bank there, Uncle Yori, this man has been sitting on a Supreme Court judgment for pensioners of that bank. For the past 10 years, he has not, the Supreme Court asked him to review and to harmonize the pensions of pensioners in the bank. He refused to carry it out. If you like, send your reporters to CBN to go and verify what I'm saying, whether there is a case like that or not. So he is not going to obey this. He's used to it. Now, what I want to tell the senator is this. You can see that, you as a Senate, you can see that the governor of Central Bank is trying to bring the country down. What I expect you to do, I had the time you asked him to extend it up to June. He refused. He even refused to appear before you as a Senate. you have the power to revoke the confirmation of his appointment. I think the Constitution permits the Senate to do that.
Okay.
Why are you waiting?
All right then. Mr. George, can we just put that situation to the Senator? Thank you very much for calling in. Senator?
Yes, Yori, the law does not allow us to remove the CBN. There's no such thing in the law, and that's part of the lacuna we have in many of our law. Why the law allow us to confirm certain appointments, same law does not give rule, to us in terms of removal. So maybe that may also give us a new line of thinking on amendment some of our law, such that when there appear to be collusion between executive, the president, when I say executive, and some of the functionaries of the executive, the National Assembly should have some role to play in intervening, like a kind of a deus ex machina. As it were today, I join Nigerians, to deprecate the incompetence of the CBN governor and his management, and therefore inflicting unnecessary hardship on Nigeria in an haphazard, inconsistent, and very callous implementation of the redesigning and the cashless policy.
Okay, Senator, Senator, I beg your pardon, sir.
Let me finish this, please. I want to say that it's also important to say that Mr. President should not play ostrich in this matter. He should come forward and come clean with Nigerian people. As a president, you cannot sit down and pretend that Nigerians are not suffering. Okay. Even if it's politics. Politics is about human being and not about, it's not an abstraction. So I want to call on the president of Nigeria. He's a leader of our party. He should be alive to his responsibility and oath is sworn to uphold the Constitution and address the potential problem of insecurity and the adverse welfare consequences of this terrible nightmare that the CBN has inflicted on Nigerian people.
Okay. In fact, I'm glad that you didn't let me interrupt you, because that was what I was going to speak on. That I was going to say that what you've been expressing, I think Nigerians would have appreciated it if we had, I use the analogy of father of the nation, the president, and all of that. For Mr. President to show concern, to show that this is worrying to him, to show that he's not happy, this has not happened yet. So, but we just leave that to one side. You've spoken on that. Now, I just got a couple of minutes more. I saw a video yesterday. The governor of Kaduna, one of the states that took the federal government, one of the three northern states that took the federal government to court on this whole matter. And he was speaking to people, and he had said that, look, if they won't let you get the money, don't bother changing your money anymore. Go ahead, continue to spend this old Naira, and maybe some sort of a local economy. He was predicating everything on this policy will be changed. I don't know what you think about that. I don't know what you think about El Rufai's speech.
I think the challenge I have, here in Osun is here. I'm not in Kaduna, but unfortunately, because our people here are law abiding, before January 31st, my people in Central District had exhausted all their old currency. They had, as obedient citizens, deposited their money, and the banks have refused to dispense the old note again. So the reality is this: both the old notes and the new note are not in circulation. They're inflicting unnecessary pain and anguish on our people. And the solution of Governor Rufai would have worked, assuming we had known that there is this intention to just mop up the old notes and not release the new notes. Yeah. Many banks in Osogbo, and I take pain to investigate, are not getting even a dime of the new notes. They are asking them to come to CBN Osogbo to pick old 50 Naira notes. A sister of mine that collected 10,000 Naira could not spend 3,000 from that 550 Naira note because they were torn, they were being mutilated. Some of them, they use sellotape to put into. Yeah. Just imagine if you collect 10,000 Naira and you cannot spend 3,000, as you cannot spend 6,000 out of that money. So what to call on the president? This is not a time to play ostrich. He needs to come out clean. Let them bring out the old notes, for God's sake. Let us, act. If you're implementing a policy, okay, and the policy is meant to advance a common, a good, and is now inflicting pain. We should be man enough. We should be courageous enough and do the needful.
All right,
Let the
Senator.
new note be brought out, because I'm sure
We're gonna have to
that
leave it here.
Emefiele did not print enough copies or enough of the new notes. He did not, or otherwise he's holding it.
Thank you very much, Senator. We're going to have to leave it there. I appreciate your time this morning. That's been we've been having a conversation with Senator Ajibola Bashiru, who represents Osun Central District. I beg your pardon? Did you want to say something? Yes, Senator.
Thank you very much.
Okay, then.
No, thank you. I said that. You said that I'm not in Abuja, I'm in Osogbo.
Oh,
I'm in Osogbo, yeah.
Okay, then. Thank you very much. So that's our program today. Official spokesman of the Senate. Please join us on Monday for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folare. Goodbye for now.